Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream. Today, Ron Nicoletti along with Samantha Perry. Brian will be joining us throughout the afternoon. We're starting today with a fast main track. We're off the turf once again. We had rain, a whole bunch of rain yesterday.
So much, yeah.
But we got the track fest. They do a great job. Of course, we got the Tapeta. You know, we lost some turf racing this weekend, but next week, as my boss Dave says, you always got to look to the future.
Yeah.
And next week we have the Frolics Revenge for the Fillies and Mares on the turf, and the sheer drama going 7 furlongs in the main track. So when you look ahead for next week's action, it's going to be really good.
It's going to be fantastic. And Ron, I know that you are a man of the past, but I'm so happy that you look towards the future.
Yeah, you never know. I go week to week. So next week is going to be really good. But let's deal with today. You know, as I mentioned, we're off the turf, but the weather looks good for next week, so maybe we'll be back on. It's beautiful here today, by the way. So let's start it off at the first race is 6.5 furlongs. These are maiden fillies and mares 3 and up. I'm going to scratch the number 3 horse in here, and Brian put together an early pick 5 ticket. Let's give it a gander.
Let's look at it here.
Well, we're going to talk about the first. He's got some coverage in the second. He's using my 7 horse in there, Bubbles Up. Did you use that one?
I did.
Yep. And let's see the single. Race number 8, Free Gun. Logical horse.
Yeah,
in
for sure. Yeah.
Too deep in race number 5. That's where the Rainbow's going to start. Oh, the Rainbow today, we forgot that because we're so interested in the future. Today, they're guesstimating $75,000 in the Rainbow 6. So we'll see that. There you go, $75,000. 22,000 in the carryover. Lots of 5s out of 6 yesterday.
Yeah, I know. It was a bit of a nail biter for a little bit. Yeah.
That was tough.
It was.
Yesterday was very tough.
It was hard.
Getting back to this first race here, we're going to start it off. What's your selections in here? We both got the 6 horse in here, and that's Sapphire Girl for Staffy Joseph Jr.
A lot of nice works here, at least on the page. This is a half sibling to Lord Miles, who was really impressive for Staffy. Was on the Derby Trail, and look, just on paper, the works look good. We'll have to look at the betting as it gets closer. It's still so early in the betting, really hard to see. But we found a stat, too, or you found a stat on Saffy that will show here. And I'm curious to see what it is.
You know, it's first-time starters 3 and up in the dirt at Gulfstream. This is also for the number 4 horse. It's for both of them in here. First-time starters 3 and up, okay, 22%, 53%, 173. That's a little under his records. I don't know how much you put into that this afternoon. And ridden today by Michael Husbands.
Yep, good to have him back here.
Yeah. So what else did you see in this race?
Well, Secret Revenge. Look, this gal here, she's one that what a great horse to own because every time she runs, she picks up a check. I mean, people don't realize how much that kind of can help a barn, can help your owners every time you pick up a check, second, third, fourth. But she just is yet to find the winner's circle. We'll get a 6.5 furlongs here. She's one that you really have to ride on, really have to be aggressive with. Misael Jaramillo has been on her a few times. Is today the day? It might be, but I think that you should have her at least keyed underneath somewhere because she hasn't been worse than 4th since February.
You know, you look at the 1 horse trained by Javier Negrete. He does such a good job.
Yes.
He's only got that 1 win. His horse runs well. He just seems to be a little snake bit.
I agree. It was a listed good track the day that she ran. Now we'll draw the rail. She didn't break very quickly. Last time she kind of got shuffled back a bit, and now we're on the rail again, so that's kind of unfortunate.
Race 2 this afternoon is going to be a sprint, 5 furlongs on the Tapeta. These are maiden claimers for fillies and mares 3 and up. Going to scratch the 3 Concatella at the Cutula, I think it is, but it is the number 3 that's scratched out of here. And Brian's pick 4. Did we roll it ahead?
We can he'll tweet it out. It's a run back, I'm sure.
Yeah, he'll tweet it out. Bubbles Up, we were talking about. Let's start with your rate first, then we'll show the replay of Bubbles Up. Meet Me in the Air.
Meet Me in the Air is one of those gals that she runs a winning race, but she just can't get the winner's circle here. And I know when you look at her, you go, oh, for 12, why would I want to play a horse like this? But hey, the rest of the field isn't really a lot of great shakes either. She set some nice fractions earlier in her 5.5 furlong race on July 25th. She just what I like about her is she's at least an outside post to Bubbles Up, who you like.
Yeah, she's coming back to 5 today from that, showing a good speed at 5.5. Maybe that's the key for her this afternoon. As I was mentioning, my top pick and your second choice, the one we're going to show the video, is Bubbles Up, who's going to turn back today slightly to the 5-2.
Yeah, and she's one at least has a little bit of upside, a little more, I would say, than my top pick in here, Ron. And that day, the race was won by Our Wins Aren't Luck, who is a Carlos David trainee. And she ran really well here. The second place finisher, Fluffy, imagine that, came back to win at Colonial on the grass course there, and then came back and ran second like a couple weeks later. So, hey, Fluffy went up to Colonial and is doing all right. That flatters Bubbles Up.
Definitely does.
And look at this, too. I mean, this is a big, deep bid here for Bubbles Up. And, at the top of the stretch, are you supposed to go by from here?
Yeah, I guess
supposed
you
to keep
can.
going, yeah.
You sort of can. But
You're
as you
12-5.
mentioned at the top, I think this is an easier spot.
Yes.
So I think that's going to help. But now the number 10, Vanessa's Wish, who we both have on our ticket. Now both the barn and the horse are really don't like they get their picture taken very much. Ruben Sierra is 1 for 41, but here's another good look at this horse. Second, 3 races beaten less than a length all combined,
Yeah.
Always runs its race. The barn is 1 for 41, and of course the filly here is 0 for 8.
Yeah, out of 5 starts on the Tapeta, 4 of them sprinting at least. She's in the money 100%. So, again, she's right there. She's drawn well today, but she just finds an excuse every time.
Well, maybe today will be the day. Now, race number 3 has been taken off the turf to be run at the same distance of 5 furlongs on the Tapeta. These are maiden claiming 2-year-olds, and it kicks off the Tropical Tapeta. Pick 3 today. You have a ticket, Samantha?
I do, yes, and we'll just take a very quick look at it here. It's one of those that I didn't have somewhere to lean on, which made it a little bit tougher for me, Ron. And it's a $36 play. I like to have a single, but I don't. When I can look at these horses, sometimes it can help. If you've got to wait all the way to race number 8, which unfortunately that was our feature. It was supposed to be on the grass, but just the 3 and the 8. We were talking off the air, Ron, that all 4 of my top picks. All 4 of my picks scratched out of that race. So 3 and the 8 for me. And in the finale, I do have a Refined Honor on top. 2 wins in a row for this horse now.
Yeah, I have that one on top too, and that's my long shot today.
Nice.
But I don't know what's going to happen with you. We're going off the turf that last race. Getting back to this race, also note that, as I mentioned, 5 furlongs, both the 4 and 5 are listed as geldings. We both went with the inside horse, and I believe the first-time start. The first-time starter from Rohan Crichton, who also owns the horse.
Yeah, I'm Sam. I am too. There we go.
Right.
Yeah, the Mendelssohns with Tapeta Sprints are 12%. So just kind of right down the middle here. The works are, look, we like to say that having the 5/8 breeze from the gate is so key. And you've got that back on July 17th. Rohan is so good with first-time starters, at least these 2-year-olds here. And hey, do we work something out today? From the rail draw's not ideal for a 2-year-old first-time starter, but hey, we're debuting for 35. Rohan owns this horse. I like that.
Yeah, and MSC El Jaramillo is going to ride, so this horse is going to be interested early. I love this horse's breeding for the turf. That's not going to happen. That was where I decided to go. It still figures out the one to be. Now, what about the number 5 in here? And that is Teddy Bear, who dropped from maiden special 235. That debut was on the turf.
It was. He showed absolutely no early speed, but blinkers go on today, and he's a first-time gelding. Maybe the combination of the two get his eyes on the prize a little bit more. Hey, the Boucheros, we see it time and time again. Now he's shipped up to New York to be a stallion there, but they love this Tapeta sprinting. They love it, so you cannot count this guy out.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple of them in the sale on Monday up at Saratoga.
The New York bred yearling sale,
I still remember the day that the guy came in, the breeder, the owner of Bouchero, and he gave us all hats and came into our offices going back and said, this horse is going to be good sire. And we said, yeah. He was right. We were wrong. He was right. Illustration, nice third in its debut on the main track. Figures as a logical contender in here.
Absolutely. This horse has speed, too, which will make him dangerous. So for a barn that doesn't typically win first time out, and we're drawn well here, and we're in the right spot, and we've got a race under your belt. That's huge.
I really think so,
Yeah.
because being perfectly honest, I'm Sam, besides being your name.
Yeah.
That pick for me was for the turf. But,
Yes,
I'm going to
I
still
agree.
go with it, but that was where I was
Yeah.
going with that. So with all this honesty, I'll turn the page really nicely and get to page number 4, or race number 4, not page number 4.
Okay.
Mile and a 16th on the Topeka Claimant Sunday. You got to forgive me. 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and up, which would never won 3 in life. Scratch the 1, Endless Rain, and the number 3 horse in here, Okani Life. And Brian's got a middle pick 4.
Yeah.
On the weekends, we have these middle pick 4.
Yes.
When it's 11 races, I do it. When it's 10, Brian does it. Let's take a quick look at that ticket here. And he's single in the 8, and that was his single in his pick 5. Free Gone, a logical contender.
Yes.
Too deep in race number 5, a logical ones, once again, with torches past, I think. Race number 6, 2 for him. 2 and 10. Let's see. And then the last is going 3 deep, 3, 6, and 7 in race number 7. 3 horses, Beijing Boss, 5-2 for Rodolfo Garcia. So $6.
Yeah.
Very
like it.
full.
Yep.
Yeah,
Punch it
very
a few
full.
times. It's fun. I like when I have a really strong opinion, because then you can just hammer it a few times.
Yeah, what the best part is, I love when I get a single in the pick 4 or something like that, because then you can go 4 deep in every race.
Right.
It doesn't cost you that
Yeah.
much, So, race number 4, getting back. I guess we'll start it off with Freegon. We both have it here. And on paper, strictly the one to beat.
Absolutely. This horse drops in class. The class that he's been facing is just a lot better than this group here today. He's just been running very, very well. And look, now we'll get to the Topeka going 2 turns, and he ran great at this last time. And it was just too tough of a group.
Yeah, if you just want to say, you just sort of wonder why they dropped. I guess.
I get it, yeah.
But, the barn probably saying, hey, let's get a win
Right.
in here. In second, you have the number 5 horse in here, Looking for Roses. And this one comes out of a pretty good race. Now, it was back in June, but produced
Right.
a couple of next out winners. Safi Joseph Jr. jumped in and claimed this horse.
It's not a great sign whenever you have a horse that you claim for 8,000 and then you wait on the horse for a couple
Yeah.
of months. It's always not ideal here, but look, this could be a game of poker sometimes, and you gamble on horses like this. And Safi Joseph, he can get these horses right, and if anything, he's a fresh horse coming into this race.
To willingness, talking about drops,
Yeah.
This is drop in competition. They claimed this horse for 12.5, 2 back. I'm talking about Carlos David.
Yeah.
That race last time was good, produced a couple of next out winners. And they're dropping it right down to $8,000 with Jose Morelos, a major player as I see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And they claimed this horse for 12.5. So it was also a reclaim. So
Right.
there was something about this horse that trainer Carlos David really does like. Unfortunately, now with the scratch, you get the rail.
Yeah, you get the rail, but we'll see how that plays out. Then Pet Matt, I just wanted to mention quickly, just
Yes.
because of the connections. Tariq Mubarak, you got to watch everything that
Yep.
these guys are doing. All their horses run exceptionally well. It was actually favored last time out, so we'll see how that horse runs. Try Super, maybe you put it
Exactly.
underneath. Taking that short break. When we come back, we'll have the Rainbow Six with that $75,000 guesstimate. So let's we'll be right back.
And they're off.
Win big with new DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Samantha and I both trying to add or subtract You got to watch it
Oh,
someday.
January.
You figured it out that
Yeah,
fast?
because the 9th is the 9th month. Sorry. This is,
Never mind. Yeah,
Yep.
we're just talking about some stuff. As we mentioned, the Rainbow, they're guesting $75,000. I lost my single in here today, which is in that race 8 that got really blown up. So no single for me. We'll talk about the 5th,
Ooh,
6th race.
threes.
My top pick is a lady, Emily Catherine. We got a video we're going to show. The whole gang is there again. In race number 7, my top pick is the 6 Camp Evans, but I use Mahavlovich also in there. Race number 8. 4 scratches in that race, and as you mentioned, you're all top of your 4 selections. I used the 3 and the 6 in it. I think the race goes through Toikawa now, so we'll see how that is. Race number 9, too deep for me. Top pick is the 3, wink of an eye. We got a stat we're going to show you for Carlos David. And in the last race, as you mentioned, Refined Honor on top with the 6 and the 7. 43-20 for me.
I like it. If you get threes the whole rest of the day, you're going to win.
Yeah, I'm going to need a lot of 3s in here. But this 5th race, I actually start with the 5 horse, and you start with the 6. Sneaky, so we'll go there first.
Sneaky. This is my long shot. And now that we've got a scratch, I don't know. I think anywhere to like 4-1 is fair on this horse. We'll take a little bit of starch out of the race. But look, we'll get back on the Tapeta again. That day on the Tapeta, July 5th, and I keep talking about this day in particular because that was a day where the speed was so good on the Tapeta. It was just if you were in front, you weren't going to lose. And this horse, front or close to it, which is bound for trouble in this race too, just rode that coattail very nicely. Perfect post position today. I don't mind the bump up in class. It kind of all the same here, $10,000 difference. It was just such a strong race that day, and Edgar Zayas will get aboard today.
Yeah, well, let's show the video of Bound for Trouble and Torches Pass.
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
2 back or is that?
I believe it's
two
2
back?
back.
Two
Yep,
back, yeah.
June 5th. Yeah, not July 5th, June 5th.
Right.
Torches Pass. This horse at 5 furlongs was unbeaten in 2 starts before stretching out here.
Yeah, that was a mile 70 yards last time out.
Yeah. But when you draw a line through that, this horse's form at that 5.5 is 2 for 2. On the Tapeta is 4 for 8 with 1 second place finish.
Yeah.
So this horse loves the Tapeta, and he's like a little rocket ship once he gets there. Bound for Trouble. This horse is a bit more of a kind of like a plotter to me. You see, he's in the wrong lead here. Now, he did have another start past that, and he did get a win, but I think that he's going to pay the price.
Yeah, I think they put him where he belongs right now. And, you know, you could see back in April, voided claim, comebacks. What does he do? Win.
Right.
They step him up. Doesn't run that well. I just think a horse that you have to pay a little attention to. You mentioned Bound for Trouble, how he ran well last time behind your long shot, you know, in front of your long shot. So logical horses here in the Rainbow Six. I didn't use the 6. I'm going to have to go back. It looks like this one might be a sneaky.
Sneaky. Yeah.
Race 6 is a mile and a 16th on the all-weather Tapeta. These are claimers, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and up scratch. The 6 Pacific Princess Samantha has a late pick 5 ticket. We'll take a look at it.
I do, and I did come up with a single in race number 7, and that is Camp Evans. This is my best bet here today. Race 8, as you mentioned, Ron, scratched down quite a bit, but the 8 on top for me, California Frolic, was obviously a rework race for me because it was, all my top 4 picks were gone. Race 9, wink of an eye on top for me, the number 3, but I am spreading. And then in the finale, I do have the 3, Refined Honor on top. I scratched into this horse. I did rework this a bit because I felt like there were some horses that were Tapeta horses and not grass horses, and grass horses and not Tapeta horses. So on the Tapeta, Refined Honor, 2 for 2 so far.
And that 8-horse California from Armando de la Cerda won the finale last night.
Exactly.
So he's been doing okay.
He has been, yeah.
Doing real good here. So getting back to race number 6 this afternoon. Let me get there, being that I looked all around. We both started off with Lady Emily Catherine, and as I said, all the gang is here. We got a video with her. Musical Journey, Sal's Dream Girl, and Diamonds for Lily.
Yeah, they all come out of the same race here. Sal's Dream Girl, I thought, ran a really bang-up effort here. It just was really wide. Lady Emily Catherine, the fact that she won from this spot here on the Tapeta was really impressive. This was on quick turnaround for the Hertack barn. Well, a little less than a month on the Hertack claim from the Safi barn, and ran exceptionally well. You look at it from here, and you know that she's got run, but to win by a length, especially where she was on the far turn, was impressive. Now, you've got, again, the gang all here. I thought Sal's Dream Girl, the 10, this is going to be, Brian used that horse. I'm using that horse as well. Ran really good. Can Lady Emily Catherine make it 3 in a row is the question.
You know, the barn is Pablo Torres. They're still looking for their first victory in the meet, but they do a good job. They claim the right horses, and all the horses after the claim run well. They just haven't gotten that win yet in the barn, but they're a sharp outfit is what I'm trying to say in there. Then you got the 2 Sal's Dream Girl, like you said. I didn't use that horse, but both you and Brian did.
Yeah, she broke extremely slow last time out, and she was very wide. So she got a nice figure that day, but she's been her own worst enemy because her last couple of races, she's been pretty slow to break. She's got to get out today and out of the gates.
You know, my old buddy Kiki Love I had to use on the ticket there. You know, this horse just has that speed, and you know, albeit it's been mostly on the main track. We'll see what this horse does this afternoon. 0 for 2 on the Tapeta.
Yeah, but again, only one start with Victor Russo on the Tapeta, so maybe you can argue that she could be a little bit better. Second on the dirt, which is unfortunate. And this is a tough race to kind of step up to.
Yeah, you know, but like you always say, maybe the change in scenery will
That's
help
so
this
true.
horse. You know?
That's so
whether it's
true.
a claim, whether it's surface, whatever,
Right.
distance, you know, sometimes wakes up the
Bulldogs.
lifeblood of the racing, these hard-knocking claimers that, you know, we see running every couple of weeks. So getting to the 7th race, we're going to sprint at 7 furlongs. If you're joining us, the main track is fast today. They do a wonderful job. We had lots of rain yesterday. There's a maiden 3-year-olds and upward with no scratches in here. Brian has a late pick 4 ticket we'll take a quick look at. And let's see what he got. $36. He's got all in race number 8. That's only 4 horses.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, this is gambling, and I like what he's doing here. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because every time you leave a horse out, sometimes when you ticket, they're the ones that come up and get you. So you know,
I'm
and
snake
they really
bit with that.
There's no form of the horses that's left in there.
No.
Form where you go. What I mean is like, oh, that horse is going to win.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
we'll see how it is.
So true.
And you started it off with Camp Evans, your best bet, who I have.
Yes.
You want to show the video of him, her, and him, I should say.
Yes, and Mihalovic comes back as a gelding, which is good. So Camp Evans here, man. This horse, this was coming off of a maiden win, or no, pardon me, not a maiden win, coming off of a little bit of a layoff from April to June, and ran really, really huge here. Now, Mihalovic finally is a gelding, and he's needed it. I think Mihalovic is better at a mile than this sprint distance here. Camp Evans ran his eyeballs out. He just got defeated by Insurmountable, who you see the horse is just looping the field, but Mihalovic and Camp Evans did the most running out of this group here, I think.
I agree. That's the 2 I used on my ticket. So.
Yeah, to me, Mihalovic is just one of those horses that he's pretty sturdy, the son of McKenzie. They've tried a couple of different things with him, sprinting, going longer. He was actually entered on the turf at one point, too, but he didn't ever run on it. I think the gelding will help. I just wonder if today he can break through. I'm just going to single Camp Evans. I don't want to use them both.
You know, if you're looking for a little bit of a long shot in here, not a long shot, because you got it in second, and that's a Sea God, one of my favorite angles. You're showing that little bit of speed on the grass going long, cutting back to 7 furlongs. This horse can sit a trip this afternoon. And besides Camp Evans, you can't really make a strong case for everybody. Maybe Mihalovic, but otherwise it's wide open.
Yeah, well, Sea God at the OBS April sale last year, Demerick sold this horse. He breezed 10-2, and he looked like a 4-year-old. He was the blockiest, heaviest, good magic, and now they've gelded him. So I love this angle. On the grass course, a big, heavy horse, I don't want to see that at all. Now we're back to the dirt. This is the one that if I didn't have my best bet in here, he would be the one that I throw in.
Yeah, I mean, I just wrote on mine long shot behind the 6 horse. I thought he had a shot.
Yep.
Now, getting to race number 8 this afternoon, we've been talking about this, originally scheduled for a mile on the turf, now mile 70 yards on the Tapeta. It's an allowance optional claimer, 3-year-olds and upwards, our feature race. We're going to scratch the number 1, the number 2, the number 5. Of course, Steel Sunshine was going to be a big price in here, and the 7 Kalix. So it leaves the 4 horses there. I went 6-3. You went 8-3. Tell me about the 8.
The 8, I was just looking to see the last time that he was on the Tapeta, and it was December 2nd of 2023 in a nice handicap race, a race during the championship meet. A horse named Skyro won. That was a horse for Brian Lynch. This horse has really nice Tapeta form. He won the Not Surprising in 2022. So that we know that he can handle the Tapeta. He just hasn't been doing that as of late. The connections we're praying for rain here.
Yeah, I got the 6 Decoy, just speed and what
That
it is to me.
is-
Just
yep.
speed in a compact field. I just think maybe he can, with Emerson Jaramillo, if he gets in front and lopes along, they're going to be tough to reel him in, especially when you're only dealing with 4 horses. But you make a
Right.
great case with California Frolic. Maybe use a horse like I Know, or from within. So it's just wide open
Yeah.
now. 8-3, 6-3. We both have the 3, but win from within. Race number 9 this afternoon. We're going to sprint the 3/4 of a mile or 6 furlongs on the fast main track. They are claimers, fillies 3 or fillies and mares 4 and up. No scratches in here, and all started with wink of an eye. I'm a good wiggler.
Yeah, wow, that was
Good
impressive.
work.
There you
Right,
go.
right, right?
Getting all the ladies with that. There you go.
Tell me about it.
The one for the 12-5 level 2 starts back, then came back with just a couple weeks rest and finished third, and it wasn't a bad effort at all. But it was short rest, which is fine with the lower level claiming filly, but sometimes it can take stuff out of her, especially when it's so hot like this. So the fillies can be a bit finicky sometimes. So now we're back, and what's key here is we're cutting back in distance, which is huge.
Yeah, that turn back is the key
Yes.
in here from that mile. I want to show you a stat on Carlos David doing this move, and he's got the apprentice Yolbert Torres in the saddle today. Route to sprint on the dirt,
Wow.
only 12%. And that is not a good stat. This guy
No.
bats at 30, so you just don't know until you
shocked.
get these stats, right?
Yeah,
You know,
this is-
maybe
wow.
you start looking around and maybe get a little bit of a price somewhere else in this race if you want to believe that. And the stats have been holding pretty true to form.
They have been, yep. These are, if you were going to be gung-ho on singling a
Yeah.
filly like this, it makes you look a little bit. Like
Well,
you said.
that's why you show it, just to give
Yep.
that, maybe the 5 will win it today, and that's Lilybird. And Lilybird, first off the claim by Jose D'Angelo, he's about 15%
Yep.
doing that. And this horse was really impressive in his last 2 races, albeit at the $8,000 level.
Yeah, this horse, she's been pretty versatile. She won on the Tapeta, then they claimed her and put her on the dirt. She has 2 starts on the dirt, a 4th, and a win. So she's got a lot of gameness to her. They're going to step her up a little bit in class. But when we talk about this, when you get to this level, isn't it kind of all the same?
Yeah, it's sort of lateral moves,
Yeah.
and you're getting Rajiv Mirage today. Well, you had him last
He had
time.
2 wins yesterday.
2 wins yesterday, so he's going good. And maybe you use the horse like fully extended, fully entitled, Safi Joseph Jr.,
Yep.
and that's the reason it's Safi Joseph Jr. Maybe use a horse turning back, also like
Yeah.
wink of an eye. So we'll see how this one runs at 3/4 of a mile. Race number 10, originally scheduled for the turf, now to be run at a mile 70 on the Tapeta. Claimers 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and upward. And we're going to start it off with the number 3, Refined Honor, who I thought was 6-1 in the morning line. I was going to get a little bit of a price,
I know,
but
now you're
everybody in the
done.
world seemed to have picked it.
Yeah, well, the race last time, it was just a 4-horse field, but he handled it very comfortably. It's hard to take that step up from winning maiden 17-5s on the grass to then move to the Tapeta, in which he only had 1 start before on, and it was sprinting, but the 2 turns just proved to be a really successful move here, and you would think that this horse could just keep on keeping on here. They're not getting greedy. They put this horse back in the same spot.
Well, the morning line favorite, who I was trying to beat on the turf, is the horse you have in second, I have in third, and that's Zozucheta. This one from Mark Paisley's barn. And Rand, you could look at his race 2 back on the grass, was a pretty nice performance, and he didn't run badly on the Tapeta last time out either.
Nope, not at all. And that was a tough group. Mom's Martini,
Yeah.
she's like 5 wins in a row. Well, she's beaten the boys. She's like one of the best 3-year-old. I think she is the best 3-year-old Tapeta 2-turn filly that we have here.
To me, the most interesting horse in the race is the 6, Secret Badget Man, who's taking a big class drop today,
Yeah.
and trying the Tapeta for the first time after all those races on the turf. I don't know if of course they were planning for the turf, but to keep him in for Eddie Plesa Jr., Lionel Reyes, 4 wins yesterday, so he
Amazing,
was
yeah.
the man. So he'll be in there. If you want to throw a horse and maybe you do something like that.
Yeah, hey, you can take a shot with a horse like this. Like you said, the turf races, they're just worlds better.
And let's show the replay on Son of a Slew in
Yeah.
here, just to show you this horse was in tight quarters, right, I believe, at the quarter pole.
Yeah, this was the race on June 28th, and he was right here. You look at him, and you see Edwin Gonzalez, who was aboard him that day. He just was kind of bottled up and didn't have a chance, really. That was not the best draw for him getting the rail that day, but he made up some ground. Of course, this is on the turf course, but he has been across the Tapeta before. That was back in 2024 in maiden special weights and maiden claiming events. Is he better on the turf? Maybe. Maybe.
I think he can run well in there. If you're looking for a little something, maybe use them one. I think he can. I like the fact that he showed interest after being totally bottled up. So, of course, changing surfaces. So that's the 10 for us, but we're not done. Just one last night again, we got another award for our lightning round. It's just amazing.
Did we? Oh my gosh, we've got to get a new mantle for all these awards we get here.
No, it's a lot of fun doing the lightning round. Let's see how we're going to start it off. We had some great stakes races yesterday.
Did, yeah, and Patrick B. and Cone. I think, did Brian? I was
laughing.
Yeah,
he went Italian on us.
He went Italian, yeah. That was probably funny, him Googling that. But, yeah, this horse, wow. Patrick Biancone, first off, with his 2-year-olds, 6 2-year-olds he's won with now. This is
amazing.
Impressive. Yeah, and the way that this horse won, too, that was not a great spot to be in right there. And then he dives to the inside and just keeps on going. This is really impressive for a 2-year-old to do this. You can't teach heart. You can't train heart. He's just got it. Yeah. Patrick Biancone, our hats are off to you with the 2-year-old just tour de force.
Yeah, you see the horse winning by a length, but that doesn't mean anything. This horse was much the best, much the best really in there. Yep. Then we had a one that lit up the board yesterday.
Yes, Willow Case here, and it's funny because whenever you guys were on air, I came on after, and I looked at her as they were going out to the track, and No Heels is a horse that, and I don't mean high heels, Ron. I mean, when the horse has no heel, they typically run so well on and off track. She did it today. She was really impressive. She looped the field, too, and in a very, very game finish.
Yeah, very game finish. She was very impressive in there. Then we have one of our favorite horses.
Man,
this horse that we've been following from last year in the Pegasus World Cup.
Yep, he's so cool, and he's one. Junior Alvarado does not ride. This is like the only horse he rides for Shug, and he's done such a good job with this horse. Somebody had asked me earlier yesterday, do you think he can get this distance? I said, I think he can run all day long, and he showed that too. And he's one that can be a bit funny down the lane. He'll kind of lug in just a little bit. The further, the better for him. Junior doesn't ever panic on this horse. Just huge congrats. I really hope we get to see him for the Pegasus World Cup turf. I really hope.
He was 5th last year, but
he was,
we went on. We bet him we watched him in the dinner party when at Preakness week, and
we've gotten some nice prices on him too. So we've done good with that.
Yeah, we've done very good. So I like him. And now your best bet?
It's Camp Evans for me.
Camp Evans, my best bet this afternoon. Do I still have one, or did it get scratched out? Oh, it got scratched out. Okay. So your long shot?
Sneaky.
Mine is in the last race, which is no longer a long shot. I don't believe with the move to the main Tapeta, and that is refined on in the last 6-1 on the morning line. We're not getting that.
No, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's all
right.
Bet him. Still bet him. Yeah, definitely. So that's it for us. We're going to turn it over to Pete Aiello with the scratches and changes, and then Brian will be up with us throughout the afternoon. So everybody, have a great day.
At the Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance, we believe in giving every thoroughbred a second chance.
And thanks to you, the owners, trainers, breeders, and every supporter,
you've created a ripple effect of change that's helping these magnificent animals move on to new careers and safe, fulfilling lives after racing.
Every single donation, whether big or small, is contributing to a brighter future.
But this race is just beginning. Because of you, we have gained incredible momentum